made their name throughout the decades have lost their ability to think critically because they are triggered by Donald Trump. Now, Trump, my opinion of him is this, okay? I don't vote Democrat. I don't vote Republican. Now, there's a reason why Trump has made himself a front and center individual within our electoral politics. It's because, hell, our media and our political system created him. He knew how to master it very well. And in 2016, so many people just got shell-shocked and are forever traumatized by how that election turned out. Most notably, people like Bill Maher, who went on Megyn Kelly's show. And let's just say, folks, it didn't go well. Now, I have my disagreements with Megyn Kelly, and I have my disagreements with Bill Maher. But on this point, Megyn pretty much regulates on Bill. And I have to let the liberals know this. Look, I don't want to see Trump become president. Hell, but I don't want to see Biden become president either. We have two old men fighting over a cold bowl of soup. It's a cold bowl of potato soup. How does that sound? And that's the American people, the country, the nation. And no matter what happens, you don't have a seat at the table. So if you are a diehard Democratic voter or Republican voter, you're not going to have a seat at the table. Goldman Sachs, Wall Street executives, hedge fund managers, the top 1% have a seat at the table. George Carlin was correct. Not right, correct. It's one big club, and you ain't in it. Let us witness firsthand a man who is unable to understand the fact that there's a reason why Trump is relevant. And yet, no matter what, we are going to witness so many people as we get closer and closer to November. People might be having online meltdowns because Trump is gaining popularity amongst voters, and he's beating Biden in key swing states. No matter how this plays out, my personal opinion, it is very likely to see Trump getting reelected. We could very well witness it because of just how incompetent the Biden campaign has been for this election cycle and how arrogant the Democrats are in assuming that people are just going to tolerate the Democrats lying to them. So let's go ahead and play this video and let's pull it up here.
I don't know what could possibly be more fundamental to you or anyone than you have to concede elections. And he hasn't conceded the last one. He's plainly not going to concede this one. He now has all of his sycophants around him parroting his party line, which is when they ask them, will you abide by the election results? Yes, if it's a free and fair election, which is another way of saying if we win. You really think this is a place this country should be?
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to defend the election denialism. I'm not one of those people who believes that.
But what's more important? What kind of country do we have?
How about my daughter not going into a locker room and seeing a man's penis?
That's important too. I'm talking about the difference between this and something fundamental, which is our democracy. The fact that you have to respect who wins an election, or else you don't have the kind of country.
So first, there's a couple of things I do want to comment. Yes, there has been a lot of these issues, especially surrounding locker rooms, and that's that wonderful bag of worms right there, that can of worms right there. And let's be clear here. Let's be very, very, very clear here. More and more people are being vocal about it. But then when you have Bill Maher deflect and say our republic, our democracy is at risk here. Let me tell you something, Bill. We don't have a democracy or a republic. We have an oligarchy, okay? We have a system in which people use identity politics to distract. We have a system in which our politicians are bought and sold off and also doing insider trading. We have a system that doesn't represent the people, nor is it capable of truly looking out for our best interests. These liberals who want to scream and howl at the moon that, oh, somehow our republic is in danger. When's the last time this republic has done anything for you? When has this government invested into the American people like it's invested into Ukraine or Israel? I mean, I've never seen billions upon billions of dollars get invested in places that, well, are not America. Unless Ukraine and Israel became the 51st and 52nd state. I didn't get that memo. Maybe some of y'all did, but I didn't. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in small towns and major cities that could use, I don't know, billions of dollars invested into their communities. What a sight that would be.
We've always had before.
How about?
I mean, I feel like we keep going around the roseberry bush about this, and we're not going to make any progress. So let's stop talking about it. But
I mean, you keep saying sort of I'm nuts because I don't see the difference between the elephant and the mouse. And I'm telling you, I identify them differently than you do. Hillary Clinton, of course, is the original election denier. I'm sure you voted for her in 2016.
Well, she's not an election denier.
She absolutely was the OG election denier.
Yeah, let's have democracy in the chat here real quick. All right, folks, I need you to jog your memories. Let's time travel back to 2016. What an innocent time that was, right? 2016. Type 1 for Kit. Hillary Clinton was not an election denier. What's wrong with you? You awful, awful man. You're siding with Megyn Kelly. You're so right wing. Type 2. Yeah, I remember Hillary Clinton screaming and hollering and walking in the woods talking about, oh, I denied the election, because I remember her saying that. I remember it. I remember it. Or unless I'm getting senile. But I'm pretty sure we all remember that.
First of all, she came out before the sun had risen to concede the election to Trump.
And then spent the next 4 years saying he was illegitimate. He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
Okay. I mean, you only get two choices.
That's right.
You get Donald Trump, a criminal.
First of all, hold on. I got to stop here. We'll rewind. But my God, my audience, you guys and gals are just so brutal. Where have you been learning this to be so mean? Who, a bird goes tweet and an owl goes, who taught you all this? Hold on. Third time's a charm. Driving me, Macy says they'll be making out the end of this with all their money. Absolutely. Sorry about that. Kinky says Hillary gave us Trump. Let's see. Mastermind Hour. Bill has the selective shite lib memory. Of course, who doesn't remember that? Let's see. What else we got here? Grapentine. Bill complains about liberal snowflakes. He is an effing snowflake. He is the biggest snowflake. They all are. Always will be.
He was an illegitimate president.
Okay, well, first of all, she didn't say he was an illegitimate.
Yes, she did.
You tell me exactly what she said.
She said those exact words repeatedly.
Okay. I mean, you only get two choices.
That's right.
You get Donald Trump, a criminal election denier who is going to transform this country into an authoritarian place like we've never seen before, or you get Joe Biden with all his flaws.
Also
and
a criminal.
crumbs. Okay. What is his crime again?
Special counsel Robert Hur said he'd committed felonies, but he wouldn't indict him because he was a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. He couldn't get.
Oh, and that was such a brutal takedown. I remember talking about that months ago. He is a well-meaning elderly old man who is on cognitive decline. That's the president of the United States. That's the person that Bernie Sanders gave up his campaign for. That's the person that AOC said exceeds expectations. That's a guy that so many people in 2020 gave up their dignity to vote for. And now look at him. He's so senile and old and confused.
Get a conviction in front of a jury.
And what was that crime? That was the
classified documents all over his basement, his garage, everywhere.
Well, okay. Here's the difference. Immediately, Biden, he shouldn't have had them. Immediately, he said, "Oh, sorry, my bad," and gave them back.
That's why he didn't get charged with obstruction. But Trump has two classified documents, pieces to his case. One is you had them, and the second is you obstructed justice when we demanded them back. So, okay, against Biden, you don't get charged with obstruction. But number one, where's the classified documents charged against him? He's also a felon.
Double standards there. See, the vote blue, no matter who, people, they don't want to be held accountable for their actions. See, it's okay for them to break the law. It's okay for them to be hypocritical. So long as you follow their method, so long as you don't question them, you're A-okay. See, that's a hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. Now, the Republican Party, hey, they're just as guilty of it. But see, the Democrats, they're very, very, very ingenious in regards to how they deceive voters and their supporters in helping them maintain their power. And a lot of these pundits and all these people who carried water for the Democratic Party are being revealed for the hack frauds that they are. Because let's just say that Hunter Biden laptop story. Let's just say it was one of the Trump kids. Let's say all these scandals surrounding Joe Biden, Trump is dealing with as well. And I know Trump's got his own fair share of legal problems. Do you have any idea how self-righteous and how arrogant so many liberals would be right now trying to come down on Donald Trump? It's ridiculous.
You got your story. I look.
Why can't the difference be one actually had the ability to declassify documents and keep them because he'd been the president, and one didn't because
with
he
his
should have been
mind.
looking at documents only in a skiff while a sitting U.S. senator, and clearly he stole classified documents that he wasn't entitled to and never had the ability to declassify them.
Yeah. Maybe you know more about that than I do. I don't remember that part of it, and I always don't trust anything I hear until I vet it from the other side, because everybody sort of has their one-sided view of it and narrative.
And you don't. Say that again one more time.
Yeah. Maybe you know more about that than I do. I don't remember that part of it, and I always don't trust anything I hear until I vet it from the other side, because everybody sort of has their one-sided view of it, and narrative is more important than truth. I know this is the right-wing narrative.
I'm not like that, Bill. I care about facts. I practiced law for 10 years. I want to get the cases right more than I want to get clicks. And I have a lot of lefties who watch me. So I'm not like that. All I can tell you is those are the facts.
So what can we learn from this? Well, many of these liberals who are the vote blue no matter who crowd, they live in their own reality. See, facts don't matter to them. But the truth is, at the end of the day, the Democrats and liberals are going to be going into full panic mode. We're almost done with May. Then comes June, July, and August. And in August, in particular, will be the DNC convention. And already, the groundwork is being laid out for the activists and organizers and protesters to call out and protest against the DNC convention. As we have covered here on this show, so many people are still going to protest with or without permits. You got many activist groups and organizers currently in a legal battle with the city of Chicago and Mayor Brandon Johnson for their right to protest at the DNC convention. The very fact that the DNC convention is right now considering making half of it to be online says it all. This election, it will not go the way that the Democrats want it to go. And even if, in a scenario, the Democrats do win, it'll be by such a thin margin. This isn't anything good. And even if the Democrats do win, don't be patting yourself on the back, because there's growing resentment. This election cycle will not be the most important. It will be the most interesting, because perhaps maybe this is the election cycle in which people finally do voice out their frustration at a political system and at a corporate media that doesn't have their best interests at heart. See, people like Bill Maher have a platform in which they've helped create this divide in this country. Now, I think we're not divided. We hear a lot of people saying that we're the most divided we've ever been. I think we're the most frightened we've ever been. Not divided. I think we're all scared. And rightfully so, we should be scared. Okay? We have economic instability. We have an environment in which it's impossible to live the American dream. And you have older generations worried about the future generations on whether or not they're going to even have anything at all, a legacy to pass down. And all this time, what have liberals and vote blue people told us to do? That is to shut up, trust the politicians. It's a process. Oh, what a shame we couldn't get things done. Then you have people like Bill Maher on their platform saying, if you don't vote Democrat, oh my goodness, you're helping destroy our republic. The thing is, this republic we have, in theory, it's been sold off a long time ago. Some can even argue that it was non-existent, a republic in name only. If we truly want to have something to represent us, it's up to the people to take it back. Now, I know that when we have our free time, when we go on social media, we have our biases, our perspectives, and our points of view. But the one truth is that no matter who sits in the White House, the world will still continue to go on. But it's up to people now to take power into their own hands. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Citizen ballot initiatives, better yet, citizen battle initiatives, so that we can take the power away from the politicians and in turn, dare I say it, maybe implement policies to make our lives better. We have been hypnotized by name brand politicians, dynastic families dictating control. And in turn, the media hypes it up, causing us to go to these various camps. Don't be hypnotized by the politicians. Don't be tricked by the politicians. And let's be very clear here, too. And this is something I expect out of everyone who watches my show. Don't be like Bill Maher. All right. Read. Look at other sources of information. And yes, we all have our biases. But if you want to be a well-rounded person, I expect out of all of you to see and listen to other shows of different perspectives and points of view. Yeah, I'll listen to Megyn Kelly, but I'll also listen to somebody else, and I'll listen to other sources, and I'll read other sources of information so that I can understand where people are coming from. We're not divided. We're scared. In order to rise above that fear, we have to break away from a system that has made us scared. Stand up and do the right thing. Who knows how this election will play out? But no matter what, just don't be stuck in a bubble. Break free of it.